Um, Hello everyone. For those of you who don't know, I go by the name of Jason, and I know it's a bit late, but I would like to say Happy New Year to everyone. Hopefully this year will be a much better year than the dog shit year we just previously had. Um, Sorry for the strong language, but how else can we describe the nonsense that was the year 2020? But with that being said, even though it's a bit early, I hope everyone is doing well so far. Let me get to the point of the video. As of late, I've been learning how to work with Spring MVC and Spring Boot. And basically, I've built a small little project where I explore this particular framework. By the way, Spring is a popular framework for Java. So that's for those of you who do not know. And so yeah, I built a small little project where I basically explore this particular framework just to see how it works and all of that. Now, what I did here is a basic custom login authentication system. And the reason I say custom authentication is because I didn't use Spring Security within this project. So, but with that being said, let me not waste any more time and let me show you how this basically works. So, what you see here in front of you is basically the landing page of the app. So, none of this stuff means anything, it is just there for show. All of the stuff is just fake, static HTML. Now, the one thing that works is this login button at the top right corner. So when you click over here, it takes us to the login page. Now, the one thing I wanted to do with this project was to create something that can differentiate between two types of users, the admin users and the basic users. And both users are going to be using the same login form to log into the system. And then in the back end, the system is going to differentiate between the two users. And then from there on, it's going to redirect them based on the user type to their respective routes. So this will be the login page. And then, like I said, all this other stuff at the top here is just fake information. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by logging in with an admin user account. So I'm going to be, by the way, let me just show you. So far, I only have about 7 users within the system, but one user is an admin, which is user number 2 here. And then all the other users are just basic users. So I'm going to use this particular user account. Though it says John Doe, by the way, I made a mistake when I registered this user. I just used whatever autofill was there already. So that's why it's saying John Doe. But I'm going to use this particular user here, which is Jane Doe, to log into the system. Sorry, I had the caps lock there. Okay. So as for the childish looking dashboard over there, don't mind this. Again, this is just fake information. It's just there for show. But the one thing you would need to pay attention to is the identifier here at the top. So as you can see, it says there I'm logged in as an admin, and that's the same user I used, which is Jane Doe, the one I used over here. So the admin has, as you can see, it says admin there. Also, if you check the routes over there, it says admin and then dashboard. So this particular user is able to access what you call it, links where they can add users into the system itself. So the only two URLs that are working are the dashboard link here and the user admin here. Now I'm going to log in as a basic user into the system. So I'm going to log out now, and then the user I'm going to be using is this user over here, Sean Andrews. So I'm going to use his email to log in. He's just a basic user. All right, so there's Sean over there. Now, as you can see at the top there, the identifier is showing that this user is logged in as a user. And then as you can see there, his name is Sean Andrews, like I showed you there within the database. So now, as you can see with the URL as well, it's also redirected us to the user dashboard. Now, just to show you something here, since this is a user, this is a basic user. I want to show you what happens if the user tries to access any links that belong to the admins. So if I try there and change the URL to admin dashboard, as you can see, he doesn't get the access to the admin side because I've implemented some interceptors here. Now, if you've worked with Java server pages and servlets, interceptors are basically similar to basically similar to filters. So I used interceptors to basically create some access control where if the user is not an admin, they cannot access anything that's admin related. So anytime they try and go to any other URL links that are admin based, it's just going to redirect them back to the user dashboard. Also, there's another link where the admins can add users, as you can see there with this link over here. If they try to access that link, it's just going to redirect them back to the to the user dashboard. All right, so I'm just going to log out there, and then the other thing I want to show you is I'm going to log in as the admin, and then show you. I'm going to log in as the admin. I'll explain just now. So it's password 123. Okay, so remember the admins are the only ones who can access um, the user management route where they can add new users into the system. Now, I did implement some validations in the back end. This time around, I didn't use front end validations. I just wanted to leverage the features that Spring Suite offers. I mean, Spring MVC offers. So if I click add user there, it's not going to allow me to submit the form until I meet all the requirements there. Now, with that being said, I did also implement some email functionality within this particular project. So basically, after the admin adds a user into the system, it'll send an email to the user himself or herself and to notify them that they need to verify the account, etc. So as you can see within the system now, I only have about 7 users. So I'm going to add an eighth user into the system, and it's going to send an email notification to the user himself. Let me just say Timothy. Um, Maybe I'll say Johnson, and then I'll just change that to Timothy, and then obviously I'll add password, and then I'm gonna create him as a basic user again. All right, so like I said, I've implemented some email functionality, so I'm gonna submit the user, and then what it's gonna do, it's gonna create the user and then send an email in the process. Now, if you want to see what happens, is that as you can see there, it's basically connecting to the email vendor, and then it's going to send the email, and then after that, what it's going to do here is that it'll let us know if the user was successfully registered into the system. Okay, there you have it there. All right, so now for the email vendor, what I used was Mailtrap. So if you just go to Mailtrap, I'm pretty sure some of you already know how Mailtrap works. So as you can see, we got an email notification there, and it's basically telling the user there, Timothy, that you've been successfully registered into the system, and then you need to verify the account. Now, before we do that, I want to show you what happens when, let's say, for example, I was the admin or the IT guy who created the account, and basically I came across the user within the cafeteria of the company, and I just notified them that, listen, I created a user account for you, you need to go check it out and so forth. So let's say Timothy tries to log into the system without verifying the account. So I'm just going to put some gibberish there, uh, and then what it's going to do is it's going to check if the user has verified the account. If not, it will redirect them to this error page over here, notifying the user that, listen, your account is not yet verified. You need to first verify the account in order to log in. So that's what we're going to do over here. So we got the email already, so I just have to click here where it says verify account. Then it's going to take us to the link or the page where we need to verify our account. Now there's a couple of things I want you guys to notice. Here within the URL, there's a verification token over there and a user ID. So now if you check within the database here, in creating the user, what it does is that it's going to set up a verification token, and then the user's account is not going to be active yet or verified. So this verification token, basically it's the same verification token that you see there. So now I need you guys to bear that in mind, because I'm going to show you something else when it comes to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my password. All right. So now it knows that it needs to change the password for the user that has this verification token and that user ID. So now, by creating a new password, it's going to do all of that within the background. All right, so everything is okay. So as you can see, it says your account is verified. Please proceed to log in. So if I go to the login page now, I should be able to log in. So I'm going to paste that email again and then just put in the password. All right, as you can see, we successfully logged in and we verified the account. Now remember, there was a verification token there. As you can see, the account was not active, it wasn't yet verified, and there was no verification date. So now if we refresh the database, now there's no longer a verification token, and the account is active and verified, and that's the verification date. So now if we go back to Mailtrap, for example, remember the verification token I told you about. So if we click on that link there, the system is going to check to see if this verification token is still valid. If not, it's going to give us an error where it says this session has expired. So even if someone were to take that token and try to reuse it again, it's not going to work. Already the token is null, and so therefore they cannot reuse it. So then we go back to the login page, and then that's it. The other thing that I wanted to show you was, by the way, if let's say the user is already a valid user, the account is verified and all of that, but let's just say the account isn't active. This is for basically when, let's say a user goes away for like a month on leave or something like that, and what happens is that the account will be deactivated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and log in with this user named Holly over here, which is user number 7. So as you can see that the account is set to 0, which means it's not active. So if the user comes back into the system and tries to log in, for example, I'm going to log in with Holly. As you saw, the account is not active. I'm just going to put in the password there. So what the system is going to do is it's going to check and see if this, oh, sorry about that. Oh, by the way, that error that you just saw there, um, that error, I'm just going to copy that there. Okay, so since Holly's account is currently inactive, this is the page where this is the error page that you're going to get. So it's basically going to tell you your account is not active, and then these are just the instructions to let the user know that your account is deactivated. You need to reactivate it by entering the email within this your email within this field over here. And then if the user enters a valid email, like I'm going to do now, again the system is going to send a notification to the user's email to verify or the account to reactivate it. So let's just let it do that now, and then I'm going to take you back to Mailtrap just to check the link. Okay, so it sent the form, and if you just check here, yes, the email went through. So now if you come to Mailtrap, you get an email notification to activate the account, right? So what it does is that it's going to again take us to another link. If we click on that link, we will then get the opportunity to re-enter the password, and then in doing so, it's going to reactivate the account, and then it's going to give us an error message saying that the account is now active. So now if I try to log in with Holly's email address again, we are then now able to successfully log into the system. So yeah, man, that's about it. I think one last thing I need to show you is that if I log in with a different email account that doesn't exist, for example, it'll check the email and then it'll give an error message saying there are no records of an email account, an account with this email address and so forth. Contact your administrator. So yeah, man, that's the project that I built with Spring MVC and Spring Boot. Like I said, I didn't use Spring Security to do this whole email authentication process. So, but this was just an intro to the demo project that I'm gonna be uploading a series of videos where I basically show you guys as to how I went about building this particular application. And yeah, for those of you who are interested, just please check that out. Within the coming week, I'll be uploading some videos showing you all of this. And yeah, man, I hope you guys will enjoy it. And yeah, that's basically it. So for those of you who haven't done so already, um, please like, share, and subscribe. And I appreciate all your support. And we'll see you guys within the next video. Cheers for now.